Alright guys, we're going to go over the Pythagorean theorem in this problem, or in this video. So first off, the Pythagorean theorem, pretty simple. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Note that a and b will always be by your right angle. Those are the two lines. And c is what we call the hypotenuse. That is opposite. Opposite just means if I take my pencil, draw a line, it's going to touch the hypotenuse, which is always the longest side. Alright, this one, so let's set this up. We have a and b can be interchanged. It doesn't have to be. If you put a here and b here, that's fine. So let's set them up. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Alright, so in this one we have 4 squared plus 3 squared equals x squared. So we just make 4 squared plus 3 squared equal, and then we get 16 plus 9 equals x squared. And then we're going to take 16 plus 9 and get 25 equals x squared, and then we just simply square root. So we get x equals 5. Alright, let's keep it rolling. So x, so we have 3 squared plus 7 squared equals x squared. We get 9 plus 49. It's good to know your perfect squares. Take 9 plus 50 or 49, we get 58 equals x squared. With these, I want you to leave them as a square root of 58. I don't want you to round it. I don't want to get 7.6. I'd rather you keep it as a square root of 58. That would be nice. All right, two of them really quick. Now with these ones, you still got to identify, okay, I have my right angle, this must be A and this must be B, and then C is the one always opposite, because sometimes they might not always look the same. So we got 49 plus 100 equals x squared. 149 equals x squared. And I'll actually write both of them just in case. So you got x equals the square root of 149, or I'll give you one decimal, so 12.2. So there you go. This one simply is 5 squared plus 2 squared equals x squared. We got 25 plus 4 equals x squared. You get 29 equals x squared, and you're going to get square root of 29. Or you're going to get, let's say, 5.2. So one of those is right. Both of them are right, actually. Alright, so in a problem like this, you have to identify A. This is still B. We still got the right angle, and C. You can't always assume that the x value is your C. A is one of your legs. Legs are just the ones that are connected to the 90 degrees. So you got 12 squared plus x squared equals 13 squared. You can see now that my x is now on the left side being added to 12. So that's 144 plus x squared equals 169. So all we got to do is subtract 144. So you got x squared. Let's subtract 144. And we got x equals 5, so that's 5 right here. Alright, once again we got A, B, and to find C is simply just take your arrow from the 90 degree and draw it out. The first line it hits, that's C. So even with our decimals, it doesn't matter. So 11.9 squared comes out. I would recommend writing all decimal places. So 26.09. I'm going to subtract that 141. So we get x squared equals 74.48. Remember, I got that because I subtracted 141, sorry, 0.61 from both sides. That's what I got. So I'm going to take the square root of that. And I'm going to write the actual number. X equals to the square root. We're going to add 0.6. There you go. Alright, a couple more like this before we talk about something else. So remember, one opposite of here is always C. That means this is A. That's an A, not a 6, and B. So 6.3 squared plus x squared equals 15.4 squared. So let's take it out our calculator. It comes out to be 39.69 plus x squared equals 15.4 squared. 237.16. Just to let you know, this will always be your biggest number. So with this one, C is always the largest. We'll talk about that again here in a second. Subtract 39.69 from both sides. You get x squared equals 197.47. All you got to do is take the square root of both sides, and you're left with, we're going to say 14.1 miles. Alright, these are the last two. So we're looking for these ones here. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So 5.3 squared plus x squared equals 7.2 squared. 28.09 plus x squared equals 51.84. So we're going to subtract 28.09 from both sides. We're going to get 51. And we're going to subtract 20.09. You get 23.75. And then simply just take the square root of that. Oops. You get 4.9. X squared plus 2.7 squared. Oops. You get x squared. And once again, if you switch around x squared and 2.7 squared, it's fine. Then x squared, now we're going to subtract 7.29 from both sides. You don't have enough room to write it. 34.96. Oops, then we got square root both sides. Square roots. And we get 5.9. That's the answer. Alright, so we're going to talk about what's called the converse. So, we've always talked about that a squared equals b squared. So sometimes you're going to be getting problems that you're going to give side lengths like here or here, and you have to determine what kind of shape it is. If it's an obtuse, acute, or a right. And it's going to tell you which one's bigger. So right here, c squared is less than a squared plus b squared. So, pretty much if the sides, if the hypotenuse is smaller, then it's acute. If they're equal, it's right, and if c is largest, if c is larger than a squared plus b squared, then it's obtuse. So I'll show you how I go about doing these, and then we'll do a bunch of problems. All right, so this one, I don't want you to go based on the picture. People are gonna be like, "Oh, this is a right triangle." Well, we don't know that. So if you're confused, a and b are always your two smaller numbers. C is always your largest one. So if you get a list of numbers, that'll help you out. So what I want you guys to do is this: a squared, draw blank. Do 6 squared plus 7 squared. This is 64. I'm going to leave it blank, and this is 6 squared plus 7 squared. This is 85. So that tells me that the side lengths are bigger. If I look back, okay, that means it's going to be like this. So that means it's an acute. This is an acute triangle. Acute means that this is less than 90 degrees. All right, so do the same thing. So first I'm going to start here, 17 squared. We always do the biggest number first. 15 squared plus 8 squared. So let's use our calculator. 17 squared, you get 289. You have blank, 15 squared plus 8 squared, 289. So you can see that they do the picture like that to throw you off. This is actually a right triangle. And it's right because they're the same. When they're equal to each other, they're going to be a right triangle. Alright, here. Now looking at this, it might be hard to figure out what's A, what's B, what's C. The two smaller ones are always A and B. So I don't care if you put the B up here or put the A down here. These are both the same. This right here is always going to be C because it's the largest one. So you're going to do 25 squared blank 7 squared plus 24 squared. So let's do 25 squared is 625. I'm just going to simply do 7 squared plus 24 squared on my calculator. And it's 625. Look at that. They're both right, or they're both the same, 625, so this one is a right triangle. So you can see that the picture is just deceiving you. Alright, so we got 10 squared plus 8 squared blank 14 squared. So that's 164. Then 14 squared is 196. So that means the hypotenuse is bigger. If you don't remember that, we simply just come up here. Okay, which one is the hypotenuse bigger? And now you got to make sure you realize what side it's on. This right here, guys, the hypotenuse is larger. So that's right here. So this is going to be a obtuse. Here, you got 9 squared plus 40 squared space 41 squared. So 9 squared plus 40 squared, we're going to get 1,681, and 41 squared is 1,681. They're equal, so that makes it right. This is 6 squared plus 8 squared, blank 10 squared. So 6 squared plus 8 squared is 100, and then 10 squared is 100, so this is also right. Alright, so last couple types of problems we're going to talk about is ones that look like this. And they actually tell you what's A, B, and C, so it makes life a lot easier for us. So 10 squared plus 24 squared, and then blank and 27 squared. 676, and then 27 squared is 729. So when the hypotenuse is larger, then you're going to have an obtuse. Alright, next one. Once again, 12 squared. They're never going to say A, B, and C, and they're going to be lying to you. They're always going to tell you what's going to be A, what's going to be B, and everything like that. So 12 squared plus 16 squared comes out to be 400, and 5 squared is 625. So once again, here, so it's obtuse. We have 12 squared plus 35 squared, and then blank, 37 squared. 1,369, and then let's do 37 squared. And we get 1,369. They're equal, so let's make this right. Alright, last three examples right here. So we got 20 squared plus 21 squared, and then 29 squared. Let's figure this out. So 20 squared plus 21 squared, and that comes out to 841. And then 29 squared comes out to be 841. They're the same, so this is right. This is 5 squared plus 12 squared, and then 17 squared. So 5 squared plus 12 squared is 169. 17 squared is 289. So if the hypotenuse is large, let's make sure hypotenuse is larger, it's an obtuse. So this is 5 squared plus 12 squared, and then 13 squared. 169, and then 13 squared is also 169, so it's equal, so that's right. And there we go.